Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Halo 2. Last time we discovered a new Halo ring and went down to the surface to continue our hunt for the Prophet of Regret. And today we're going to continue that hunt and try and kill him.
Wait, go back. That's what I thought he said. The Prophet of Regret is planning to activate Halo.
Are you sure?
I shall light this holy ring, release its cleansing flame, and burn a path into the divine beyond.
Pretty much.
Commander, we've got a problem.
So I hear. But from what I understand, the Prophet will need an object, the Index, to activate the ring. I've located a library similar to the one you found on the first Halo. If the rings work the same way, the Index should be inside.
I'll bet the Covenant are thinking the exact same thing.
Then we better beat them to it, Sergeant. Extract your men and meet me at the library.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll secure the Index, Chief. You take out the Prophet. He's given us all the intel we need.
Not good.
Not good. We're back to old tricks. We gotta stop someone from setting off Halo and killing everyone.
Deja vu.
And that's why they call it Halo 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. It is really handy how they leave these holograms sitting around to fill us in on all the info.
I know, I was just wondering who they were talking to.
He's giving sermons, so to all the rest of the Covenant, I guess.
Any idiot who will listen.
You know, I think the Forerunners built these new structures around the old to protect them, honor them. Pure speculation, mind you. I'd need to make a thorough survey to be sure.
That's a really cool point. In the old graphics, it's a little bit harder to tell just because the textures have less detail. But you can really start seeing that they are two specifically different structures, the metal around the stone.
So that does kind of make it sound like they didn't have a whole ton of technology when they first built it, or maybe just like didn't use the best materials or something.
I think they transplanted them. This specific section where we're walking across right now, they're basically floating. So I think they actually took these ruins from somewhere else and put them on the Halo rings. But I don't know why.
I don't know. Architects can just go,
Just do whatever they want. Call it a building.
Just have some fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess if you had the ability, if you could pick up, the entire pyramids of Giza and move them somewhere, you might do that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, how many slaves you got?
Actually, isn't that that's a joke in Futurama, I think, where they go to Monument Beach and some supervillain had kidnapped all the whatever.
Yeah,
put them there.
they didn't return them. They just left them there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they're the British Museum or something like that. There's also I thought you were gonna talk about the Futurama where Bender has them build a monument to his.
Oh yeah, where he becomes Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one too.
The whole show's
we
just
like
bangers.
references.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Futurama is definitely one of my favorites.
I'm just catching up on Bob's Burgers, and oh man.
I can't believe how many seasons that show has. It's great and it deserves it. It seems like only yesterday that I first heard about it, and now they're up to 13 seasons.
I wish I had time
it came
to
out,
decipher
I think
these
the second season was when
The Forerunners revered this place, that much
I
is
remember
clear.
trying to make to watch it before Game of Thrones when he didn't even like
But
Game
was
of
it a
Thrones.
temple or university?
Yeah.
Can't say.
Yeah.
Good show.
A time before I liked Game of Thrones. Hard to believe.
I think we
Yeah,
made you
the,
watch like the second last episode of the first season, and that's what got you hooked.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Man, it was such a good run where you guys didn't want to mention Game of Thrones anymore.
No, never.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to talk about Bob's Burgers because the voice actor of Jimmy Pesto.
Oh god.
Did you see this?
Yes.
I did see it. Yes.
It's got to be him. It looks exactly like him. I don't know.
And it's such a Jimmy Pesto move.
The FBI put out a tweet saying, like, do you recognize this? And, like, it's just, like, a ton of millennials saying, like, yes, we all recognize him. Like, I'm starting to think that the AI they're developing for, like, facial recognition isn't that good.
I don't know
like,
why
he's
so
on
many
TV.
people can recognize a voice actor, but...
He's in
You don't go to
Sarah
Comic-Con?
Silverman's show as the cop.
Oh, okay.
And Tim and Eric.
Yeah, I mean, I would recognize
He's in,
H.
like,
John
tons of
Benjamin,
shit,
but
yeah.
not all voice actors.
Yeah.
Cortana, the Covenant's getting nosy. I don't want to give away my position, so I'm rerouting a few stragglers back to you. I apologize. These Pelicans are all the support you're gonna get. Understood, ma'am.
The music just got intense while we were talking about Jimmy Pesto.
What are these fucking gondolas here? Space gondolas?
Stop it. I don't want to fall into the trap of allowing you to do voices. Oh my god, I love these drop pods.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
A gondola is launching from the far tower.
It's really
They're
neat.
gondolas.
They are gondolas.
Well, yeah, they are gondolas. Yeah, of course.
The drop pods are not scripted in the sense that they always land in the same spot. They're actually physics-enabled objects. So you can get into weird stuff where they, like, land on things they're not supposed to and get all finicky. It's cool.
So you can just park a warthog
Yeah, I
there
mean,
and
it-
watch it blow up the warthog?
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
They did land on the hunter.
On his corpse, yeah.
Yeah. By the way, you took that hunter out really easily.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
just
I
one
don't mess
pop.
around with those. Actually, that's not true. I do mess around with them sometimes, but most of the time I don't.
They're easy when you know how to do them.
Yes, they are.
You're nice enough to bring us a ride.
I think in some later Halo games, they set encounters up specifically so you won't have the easy weapons. Because that's the only way they can make them hard, is like put them somewhere where you will not have a sniper rifle.
Or pistol, or Covenant sniper rifle, or rocket launcher, or...
Yeah. I mean, the pistol stops being useful against them.
Oh, in this Halo, yeah.
After Halo 1, pretty much. But yeah, sniper rifles and rocket launchers and similar power weapons, pretty much always good against them. You can see here what I meant about the floating thing.
Yeah, they didn't just, like, construct it around it.
This lake couldn't have been formed by volcanic action, which means it was either built this way on purpose or was created by some other cataclysmic event. I'm sorry. Were you trying to kill something?
No, not yet.
I like that line, but I think it's pretty clear from the gondolas that it was built this way on purpose.
Yeah. I don't think Halo has cataclysmic events unless there's like a war, but...
I mean, there's no reason why they couldn't have a meteorite strike.
I guess
Although
that's
maybe
true.
the Sentinels would do something about it. They do have pretty great anti-gravity. You could see them being able to deflect a meteor.
Or just, like, predict them and,
Right.
like, destroy it.
Yep.
Something that humans are not very good at.
No, we're really not.
Idiots.
It's... Man, it's really stressful to think about. I was listening to this podcast, and they were like, we know this many objects, like, that could kill us, but, like, the way we see objects, it's only, like, on one side of our orbit. I'm not going to explain this well, but
No,
like we basically have to be able to see the sun bouncing off of them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a whole dark spot that we have in orbit.
Yeah. It's surprisingly
objects.
common to hear a news story where they're like, hey, this meteor is going to pass within, however many kilometers, which is a giant distance, but they're like, we didn't know about it until yesterday.
Wasn't like the closest one like 110,000 kilometers or something like that?
Maybe. That would sound about right.
Like, that sounds
Nice
scary
throw.
close.
It's incredibly rare
Yeah.
for something to pass by, like, within the moon's orbit, for example, but I think it has happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just very common for them not to see it until it's so close. Yeah, I feel like, especially in sci-fi, they always make it sound like Earth has, like, a radar system where they can see any object out to, Saturn. It's like, we really don't.
Scary stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the great filter. That's for sure.
Yeah, could be.
Have you heard that theory before?
Yeah.
Both of you?
Yes.
Isn't it the yeah, when you hit a barrier and
Well, it's
Like
the-
life just stops, yeah.
Yeah.
finally something that we cannot solve and
Extincts us.
stinks us, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't happen soon enough if you ask me.
You're cheering for the prophets in this?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Hey, maybe they're right.
Activate the ring.
Ah, now I see. There's a submerged section that connects these towers to the outlying structures. Looks like we're going down. Unless you'd prefer to swim.
I mean, actually, not much of this game takes place in America, so it's pretty good life so far.
Yeah, none of it, I don't think, actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty like the headquarters of
The
the
UNSC.
Space Navy is Australia, and a lot of it is in Africa.
Hey, Chicago gave us Sergeant Johnson, so
It's true.
they get a big point for that. I was just going to say, we don't actually know that the prophets are wrong. The only person we have to trust on that is 343 Guilty Spark, and I don't know how reliable he is. Actually, I guess Cortana was in their system and told us about Halo, so we trust her, so never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I've intercepted a secure transmission from Regret's carrier to something called High Charity. It seems to be a formal apology to the prophets of truth and mercy. Apparently, Regret jumped the gun when he attacked Earth. He's asking the other prophets to forgive his premature arrival, arguing that no human presence was foretold. That explains why there were so few ships in his fleet. But it's odd a prophet would have such bad intel about his enemy's homeworld.
I really, really like these underwater sections. It's so
yeah,
cool.
this is dope as hell, and I do not remember it.
In the original graphics, the water was super murky. So, like, you could sort of make out fish and ruins, but you couldn't see
yeah.
very much. The new graphics, it's so much nicer.
Also, that line about the prophet mistakenly attacking Earth is hilarious.
Yeah, that confirms what they said at the start of the game, but they really didn't know Earth was humanity's homeworld. But it still kind of further raises the question, then what were they doing there?
What did they think it was? Yeah.
Yeah. It makes me almost think that the whole being ordered to kill Regret is a little premature. Like, I guess if you're trying to stop him from lighting the halos, then it's probably worthwhile, but I feel like he still has a lot he could tell us.
Yeah, you would assume. Mm-hmm. Although, his intel's pretty bad, so maybe he doesn't know much.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
How did the prophets fight the elites? Because they're not very strong, in my opinion, and there doesn't seem
Probably
to be
use
that many.
grunts and jackals.
They didn't. It sort of goes back to, I don't know if you'd call it a trope, but the elites were better warriors, but the prophets were smarter, and they had better technology.
Oh, they had like engineers or whatever.
Exactly. So it'd basically be like, if you had a gun, how many people with swords could you fight?
Oh, so maybe so the plasma guns and stuff were the prophets.
Well, that's just, spitballing, but that is the reasoning.
I see.
The gist of it.
Yeah. And so they partnered up, and the elites got better technology to fight with, and they used it on behalf of the prophets while they did the serious thinking work, basically.
And if I remember correctly, the elites were spacefaring before they met the prophets.
Yeah, they both were.
But,
Man. I mean, when I make this Covenant video, none of it's going to be new, but...
No.
I am looking forward to that.
But yes, they were both spacefaring civilizations when they started fighting. Which, I guess it's actually... I think all of the species in the Halo universe were spacefaring before they met any other species.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
think
mean,
so, too.
how could you be a threat if you couldn't get off your planet?
Yeah, but
you
not
know?
even just a threat, but just, how would you even find other species? That's the whole Fermi paradox, right? Is sort of, how is it possible that there's no other species out there? And one of the sort of solutions is basically there is, we just don't have the means of seeing
Find
them. Yeah.
Yeah, I assumed that the prophets were the spacefaring and, kind of just went around adopting these other ones. At first, when I first read the game, since, reading the books and consuming every piece of Halo content there is, I've learned more, but that's, was my original assumption.
Yeah, I could sort of see that, because the Covenant are the leaders of the Covenant. The prophets are the leaders of the Covenant. I think I said something weird.
Yeah.
It would make sense that they, like you
Brought it
say,
together.
adopted the elites.
Yeah.
But no, that hologram we saw last video, I guess, kind of points out that the Covenant is actually between elites and prophet. That's where the name comes from. Mm-hmm. It's a partnership.
And people say I've got a big head.
Most of those we encountered on our search were compelled to join our union, to take part in a movement that promised freedom for allegiance, salvation for service. But some, like the humans, chose to impede our progress, block our access to sacred sites, damage holy relics. For their transgressions, the humans shall be hunted until none remain alive.
So the giant hologram does have something to say, but it's kind of finicky to trigger.
Yeah, how long did you wait? Because you have these... Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
That looks
original
like
graphics.
So good.
You can see the water there outside the windows. That's what it looks like even when you're in the little elevator ride.
Hologram technology's come so far.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, what were you saying?
How long did it take to trigger these? You have a cut for each one.
Yeah, sometimes they take a while. Usually you have to kill every single enemy. So, these guys here, once I kill them, it actually triggers the voice line. I don't know if you can hear it. So that was a different run I had to go to record it, because it's hard to sort of kill the last guy and then be in place to be able to hear him.
Yeah.
They're just kind of finicky.
That's pretty cool, how you can see his footsteps in the water.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the entire point of this section, is just it being cool.
Yeah. Well, it achieved its goal.
Yep, absolutely. I guess I should go back, what that hologram said. There's something weird there. We know what happened when the Covenant first met humanity. They basically sent us a message that said, hey, our gods hate you, so you're all gonna die. But he makes it sound like we were actively doing something to them to make them want to hate us. That's new information to me.
Yeah, I have no idea what he's referencing, so... Mm-hmm. I'll wait for your lore video.
Well, explaining that one might not happen until the end of Halo 2.
Okay.
Yeah, there is an explanation. But at this point, that's very weird. Because from what we know, the Covenant have just always been trying to exterminate humanity since they first discovered us.
Regret's carrier just received a response from High Charity. A very well-encrypted message from the Prophet of Truth. Listen to this. Your haste has jeopardized the fulfillment of our covenant, threatened our grand design. That you shall be spared a public display of our contempt is thanks only to Mercy and his wise counsel. Truth, Mercy, Regret. 3 prophet hierarchs. Killing Regret should shake up the Covenant leadership. But frankly, it sounds like you might be doing Truth a favor.
So everybody wins.
Hooray.
Except Regret.
Their names are spot on, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
A little on the nose.
Well met, Pete.
The Covenant make me laugh sometimes because they really are kind of drama queens. Like, I don't know, they wear, the giant headdresses and the fancy armor and their glowing swords. They like being flashy.
A worm, earthworm Jim looking motherfucker here.
Every member of the Covenant shall walk the path. None will be left behind when our great journey begins. That is the Prophet's age-old promise, and it shall be fulfilled.
Great journey? Doesn't he know what these rings do?
It's interesting how much they're trying to use religion and propaganda to on their own people.
Yeah.
I would just be nerve stapling so that everyone obeyed. Seems much easier.
The thing is, saying they're using propaganda implies that they don't believe it's true. But I think they do believe it's true.
This is my last run, Chief. I'm nearly out of fuel. We've secured the first tower cluster, so I'll set down there. Call when you're ready for evac.
I think you can have propaganda that you believe in, too. I know it sort of implies, oh, hey,
yeah,
that is
there we
cool.
go. I didn't remember that happened. I think that the propaganda implies that it's, I guess you're right, controlling. That doesn't necessarily mean false.
Is propaganda the delivery of the message too, though?
Yeah, I guess we're getting a little into semantics.
Yeah.
If you're presenting something to be persuasive.
Yeah, I think the important point is what would be their goal of trying to set off Halo if they knew what it did?
Yeah, I guess they'd have to have a strong belief in the afterlife if they knew it would kill you.
Right.
All right then.
So, I should say, I think it's an interesting thing to keep in mind and think about, but it does raise that question. If they want to set off Halo and they know it kills everyone, just why?
Because the Flood's a greater threat.
Oh, okay.
Because they know that the Forerunners set it off, or use the rings, as they say, to beat the Flood. Mm-hmm. And they know that the Forerunners also aren't around.
Yep. That's true, but they believe it was transcendence, not extinction.
Isn't that just like Afterlife?
Yeah. I guess it is.
So, they just have a strong belief in the afterlife.
Fair enough. But that still doesn't mean they're lying about the Great Journey, or that they think they're lying about the Great Journey. whether or not it's the rapture or not. They I think do believe it.
Well, yeah, they think they're fulfilling the prophecy.
Right.
So they know that it's kind of a self-determined transcendence, I guess. But, like, what's the trigger for it? Would they do it even if the flood wasn't around?
Yes. Because, like, we are getting into kind of weird. I think transcendus does not imply death.
Just the next in your spiritual journey?
Yes. Or, like, somehow... I don't know. Now we're getting very philosophical. Yeah.
What is life?
What is life?
How's it going, you two?
So far, so good. We're approaching the main temple now.
Roger that. I'm as close to the library as I can get. There's some sort of barrier. We're trying to find a way around it. I'll keep you posted.
I hope you noticed that I pointedly looked at that wall when she said there's some kind of barrier.
I didn't notice that.
Okay, that's what that wall is. It is actually protecting the library.
Stupid alien!
We didn't see it in Halo 1, but we got teleported directly into the library. We actually know nothing about sort of where it was on Halo or anything.
Oh. So it's not just a dam.
No. No, it is an actual wall. That's not, I mean, super important for any reason. I just think it's cool.
Kind of wish I was a jetpack elite.
Mm-hmm.
My job sucks.
You'd want to jetpack around with a gun in each hand, firing wildly? That does sound like fun, actually.
Yeah. Come on, snipers. Okay.
Yeah. I don't really believe in fair fights most of the time.
That's the largest Covenant fleet I've ever seen. The largest anyone's ever seen. Get inside the temple and kill Regret before it can stop us.
Oh boy.
Get him.
So first off, I really like my rocket launcher Marine. Secondly, we know from the Covenant perspective that that's actually high charity up there. The Covenant's holy capital city / space station. So that's
So
kind
do
of a
they
big
not
deal.
have a... Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe they have a home planet, but this is like the holy command center then?
They definitely have a home planet, but yeah, they've basically built this giant space station city as the sort of capital for their conglomerate, I guess. We'll be learning a little bit more about it soon.
The Covenant fleet has launched multiple waves of phantoms. Too many for me to track. We don't have much time.
There are honor guards all over this place. Watch your back.
Honor guards are pretty specifically tasked with protecting the prophets, or the hierarchs, I guess. And let's see. here he is. And the balls on this guy. I love it.
Taking initiative, I like that.
I love it so much. So this is another boss fight.
Take him out.
We gotta kill the Prophet of Regret. And he likes to teleport around. We actually kill him by boarding his chair and punching him in the face a whole bunch of times.
That's metal.
Yes. He is not a tough enemy. He does shoot his little beam at us, but it's not a big deal. I actually had to pull back because I was killing him too quickly in a lot of my test runs. The bigger threat in this fight is absolutely the honor guards, not Regret.
Bad news. The Phantoms are turning around. The fleet is preparing to fire on our position. We need to get out of here.
This is not your grave, but you are welcome in it.
What the fuck?
What a dope cutscene.
Oh, it's just what an unexpected turn for that.
Let's start from the Prophet. So you punched him in the head until he died.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They weren't planning on glassing the location until you killed the Prophet, is that right? Or were they gonna glass him anyway?
No, they were sending dropships to fight us. Right up into the point that we killed him, and then they decided to kill us. It's a little... They
happened so quick.
Don't like destroying Forerunner relics, and they were going to just completely destroy this temple. That's how badly they want to kill the Master Chief.
And then that tentacle.
Yeah.
I think I've seen a film where...
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Well, hopefully his armor protects him from that. But yeah, it comes up a little bit if you listen to the elites talk, but they actually call the Master Chief Demon.
Yeah, they said that earlier in the...
That's right.
When you stuck one, I think, right before.
Yeah, and I actually, there's an earlier cutscene with the Arbiter where they mentioned the Demon. But it's a nice detail. I really like that.
Yeah, it is a really good level.
Yeah.
I think it's good that you have me on commentary, because I've played this game and I have no idea what happens next.
Same.
Well, you and the audience are going to have to wait. We're not going to get an answer for the Master Chief for a little while. So, join me next time. See you later.